Hello everyone, it's NASCAR Game 10 now, back out with another NASCAR Heat 4 career mode video, number 8 here, and today we'll be racing at Atlanta Motor Speedway. I was really hoping that I can get I was hoping I could get a lot of points there, because I'm usually extremely well here. Because if you didn't see the Truck Series career, then Atlanta actually won there, and for the Xfinity Series I actually qualified in P13 I believe, and I was actually quite happy. No, P14, and we gained one spot, and I was actually quite happy about that qualifying session, and I was surprised that I got that position. I thought I was going to get like P21 or something, but clearly not. So clearly we had a fast car today, and on the first lap I already went extremely fast. For the first lap, I already gained quite a few spots there, as you can see. Where once I completed lap 1, I was already up into the top 5. But then later on in the race, actually, on lap 7, Cole Custer actually blew a tire here, and he actually went spinning into the outside wall and collected a few drivers with him there. But then we actually came to the white flag here, and we actually had quite a big gap, and we were leading the race, and we had quite a big gap, and I knew that there was no way they were going to catch me. But we came out of the final turn here to come and get our first win of the season in the Xfinity Series, so we'll get P1 and we'll even get some playoff points here today. So very good start to the season for us. For our last race we get second place, and this race we get first place, so we're ahead by 10 points here now. So the Xfinity Series is looking quite good for us, but the Cup Series didn't look quite good for us at the start, really. But we came to the Cup Series here to qualify here at Atlanta, and in this race we'd be the car sponsor would be sponsored by McDonald's, it would be. And then we actually crossed the line here to qualify in P26, and I was alright with that, I guess, because I thought I would have been outside like the top 30, but I guess not. It was a okay qualifier where our teammate was quite up the field, and Carbush got pole position here.
Welcome to Atlanta Motor Speedway for the running of the Folds of Honor Quick Trip 500. This is a 1.5 mile oval, and a very popular stop for the fans and a handful for the drivers. Let's head on down to the track and get set to go racing.
Kevin Harvick looking quite fast today, since he had very good laps in qualifying, but Kyle Busch comes to get pole position, whereas the fast driver Kevin Harvick on his outside. But we'll gain one spot from William Barnes, since he changed his engine after qualify, so he's going to be going to the back. So that means that we'll gain one spot and move up to 25th place here at Atlanta Motor Speedway here. But we're ready to go green this lap, and the green flag is in the air for the first time this season here at Atlanta here now. So I really felt like I was definitely going to get a top 10 this finish, and luckily I actually made my way up the field quite a lot this race, but not much really happened. It was quite a calm race for me, really, for quite a while actually. We had a good start and everything against all these other drivers, so I felt like the car was actually extremely smooth and extremely fast in these corners compared to all the other drivers. But we come to complete lap 1 here, where Kyle Busch will lead lap 1 here at Atlanta. But here's the really annoying part that annoys me, is that every time I go into the corner, sometimes some drivers would like to be my draft partner, and they'd like to push me in the corners, and I really don't like that. I only like it whenever we go down the straightaways or something, because I always end up going spinning sometimes if that happens. But a few laps later, actually, on lap 7, we made our way up the field into the top 10 P9 here. But then there's actually trouble behind us. It's the 12 car of Ryan Blaney. He actually blows a tire in a turn 3 there and collects Ryan with him, but Ryan manages to save. But the 10 and the 12 and the 17 get up into the air there, when the 17's still doing barrel rolls there, so extremely big wreck there for them. So it's unfortunate for Ryan Blaney there, but he would be out of the race. He would after that there. So everyone was coming down pit road here now, apart from Matt Tifter as well for some reason, I believe it was. Unless it was Ty Dillon. I knew Ryan Blaney was out of the race, but the other driver would stay out for some reason actually. But we would gain one spot and actually start next to our teammate of Kurt Busch here on the restart here now. But we're ready to go back on the green this lap here, where we take the green flag with only 10 more laps here for stage 1 here, where the 36 car would actually lead them. The 36, I believe it is, would actually lead them off the field here now, and it wasn't quite the best restart for me because I was actually losing quite a couple of spots there because of course I was on the outside lane and I'm not much with that of course, but luckily I managed to make my way back up the field. But then 31 got into my rear bumper and actually caused me to get a bit underneath the 9 car, but then I ended up going to the outside because I just tried to get that 31 off me, but he would not really get off my rear bumper, and I actually began to make a bit of contact there with all the other drivers because I wanted him to not push me or anything. But then Matt Tiff, actually the 36 who was leading the race, has now came back to 9th place, so clearly he got caught up in the mess clearly, but we'd managed to get clear of him and finally have Ryan Newman stay behind us, which I still did not want because really he just followed me out for this entire race really. He just kept on pushing me really throughout the entire race, but then I just allowed him to go to the outside because I didn't want him to keep pushing me into these corners really. I had to make something happen there if I wanted to catch up to the 11 of Denny Hannon though, but I just didn't want that 31 of Ryan even push me. But then we came to lap 19 here now actually, where after this lap we'd only have 1 lap to go, and we actually gained 1 more spot here with a few more laps after that, where I finally managed to get Ryan Newman off my rear bumper, and he's went extremely far back actually, so luckily that I got him out of the way. And we only had 1 more lap here really, and Kevin Harvick was still leading, so clearly he does have a fast car today, where he was actually quite far ahead of all of us other drivers. But I was actually happy with the first stage for a P8 finish. It was alright. Not the best, but it's okay for our first stage really. So we'll come and finish P8 for stage 1 here now, which will give us 3 points. And then stage winner is Kevin Harvick. Now everyone was coming down pit road here now actually, so I decided to come as well of course. I got 1.5 cans fuel and 4 tires, and it turns out that Matt Tift is actually out of the race because he's now actually a lap down, and I don't know what caused him to actually be out of the race here now, but I couldn't figure out really, so clearly he's just retired his car smith. But it was a good pit stop there for us since we gained at least 2 spots here. Quite a lot of drivers actually gained a few spots there for some reason. I didn't know why. Maybe a driver had to do something, but the 11 car on our inside actually got a terrible start there, but he had his teammate Martin Truex Jr. Behind him, and they also had Kyle Busch as well, so clearly Joker's Racings would actually manage to do something there. But the only one that was in the top 5 really was only Eric Jones so far, but then they managed to actually pass, some of them managed to actually pass me here now for a few more spots, but we're behind our team of Kurt Busch and Ryan Newman back at it to push us there, and I actually got a bit loose going into the corner there, so I managed to actually get him off my rear bumper for a bit, but then he came back to push again of course. Then I wanted to get on the inside lane, but he kept on pushing and pushing, so I had no chance to get back on that inside lane, so I just tried to pull it together really and just tried to do it, but then I finally managed to get to the inside and keep my teammate down there as well. So then I gained a bit more momentum here now, but then when we came to lap 27 for the entire race, Ty Dillon actually blew a tyre going into the turn 3 there, and he actually collected a few drivers with him, but they didn't go into the wall or anything, they just gave him some hard hits there. But luckily, but no one was coming down pit road really, so I stayed out as well, because there was no point on coming down pit road here actually. So yeah, and we actually gained a few spots as well really, so that was quite good for us. Kevin Harvick still leads pack. Denny Hamlin, Eric Jones, but the good Joker's Racing have actually been doing quite well so far this race, apart from Kyle Busch. He's still not quite in the top 5 either, but Truex Jr., Eric Jones and Denny Hamlin are. But we take the green flag back here to continue stage 2 here now, where where we had a few more laps here to go now, and we'd start behind Truex Jr. But Brad Keselowski, he ended up going 3 wide in his turn 1 there, and that was a bit disappointing for me, so I actually hit him in the rear bumper and made me lose quite a few spots, and I actually made a bit of contact with him. Then quite a few drivers got past us there, really, so that was a bit disappointing. We had, after this lap though, we'd only have 10 more laps to make a few more spots to somehow just get some more points really here. And I'd have to somehow try to get past Harvey, but I decided to go into his rear bumper there a little bit. But then we actually came to lap 14 here now. We actually and we gained quite a lot of spots there. We moved up to P4, but then there was actually trouble behind us there when I actually completed the pass. And Brad Keselowski though barely just gets away with it, and so does the 14 car, I believe, and then Chris Buescher, and then 31 gets up in the air there. He does. So Brad Keselowski extremely lucky there into turn 1, because he barely just gets away with that there, and I'm actually quite impressed with that, how he missed that wreck there. That was quite impressive. So everyone was coming to pit road side to side to come as well, and we actually gained 1 spot here against Denny Hamlin. So we'd start on the inside with Kevin Harvick ahead of us, the race leader still. But we came back to the green flag with only 2 laps to go here for stage 2 here now, where I actually got quite a good start against Kevin Harvick and Eric Jones. So I decided to make it go 3 wide here into turn 1 really. So, and I barely just got to the inside of him there, but until he actually went a bit wide there for some reason. I don't know if it was because of me or it's just his car. But then we went down the back straight, battling for the lead actually, because clearly he does have a fast car, because he was really fast there compared to me as well. Joey Logano actually was about to actually push there, but luckily he didn't. So I was quite happy with that. But we came to the white flag here, where we actually lead our first lap of this race here at Atlanta. And we go into turn 1 there, quite good on the inside, but then when we actually came out of turn 2 there, Joey Logano got away quite good there, and then so did Kevin Harvick, and I was beginning to lose a bunch of spots here, where with this last lap I was just falling downhill. So I don't really know what happened with the car here, but I actually dropped all the way back down to P7, and I could have got my first stage win in my career there really. But it didn't happen, but we still got some points there, but Joey Logano will win stage 2 there. But no one will come down pit road, since we already pitted 2 laps ago really, so that was quite convenient actually. Really excited, there's no way that I was going to pit again. But we'll restart here in P7 with Kyle Busch on our outside and Denny Hamlin against me. I felt like the Jogos Racing were actually quite fast as well today, but they just weren't quite fast enough for Kevin Harvick really. But we restart here on lap 45 here now, where we have quite a lot of laps to do here now, and a lot of laps to somehow maybe just regain the lead before that white-black checkered flag here really. So hopefully we could just somehow get that win back. But it was quite a good start there for us. We actually gained a few spots again. And we already looked to the inside of Denny Hamlin. We already moved up to P4 there, so that was quite good for us when we restarted in P7. But Kevin Harvick actually drops back to 3rd place, and I'm surprised the 20 car got past him there really. But then I actually began to struggle a little bit, and it was about to go 3 wide, but then I barely just blocked off Truex Jr. there really. But then on quite a lot of laps there, we had to actually make our green flag pit stop here, where we had 2 of the Jogos Racings, one of them ahead of me, then one of them behind me. So we'd actually come in for a pit stop to actually only get one and a half cans of fuel and get some 4 tires here really. And I was hoping that caution would actually come out, because then we'd actually be ahead of the Jogos Racing teammates there really. But it was actually quite a good pit stop there for us of 15.2 seconds, where we actually beat the Jogos Racing teammates off pit road there, when Denny Hamlin was actually ahead of me, but then Truex Jr. Couldn't quite get out fast there. But then when I actually came off pit road, I actually got very loose on the way out there, as you can see right here, and that caused me to lose my position against Denny Hamlin. But I think the reason why Denny Hamlin and Mark Truex didn't get a good pit stop there was because there was a lot more drivers coming off pit road there actually. So I think that's what actually caused them to lose their position there, because they can't really get off pit road whilst there's cars trying to get by them, really, can they? So it's unfortunate for them, but then unfortunate for me, because I had the two Jogers Racing teammates again, apart from Denny Hamlin, trying to pass me there, where it was quite hard for me to actually defend them off, because they were somehow just faster than me, really. Then at one point I did let Martin Truex Jr. go, and then Carbus just dropped back, really. But we gained our way back up in the P6 here now, actually. But then behind us there was actually another route with Austin Dillon. He actually blew his engine, I believe. Then Paul Menard gets into him, and so does William Barton. Quite a few drivers get into him because Paul Menard did not bother going to the left and getting clear of him before all the other drivers would come. But then we would not have to make another green flag pit stop, where we'd already make one right here during the yellow flag here now, and I was quite happy, really, because we'd start next to our teammate, and we didn't have to make another green flag pit stop, and hopefully I would not get off pit road loose again, because I don't know what caused that to happen there. But we don't gain any positions this time for the yellow flag pit stop, but we go green here this lap now, with around 12 more laps to go here now, and I knew that'd be plenty of laps to get to the lead, but it just wasn't quite enough, because I actually dropped back quite a few positions, really, as you can see here, because Brad Keselowski really battling for my position, but I make it go 3 wide down the back straightaway. And then we battle it out in turn 3 there, and have turn 4 against Martin Truex Jr. there. But then the 20 car would be my draft partner and just try to somehow help me out. But I didn't want his help, because I knew that I was going to end up spinning out, really. But then we had the 32 about to be our draft partner, but then he actually lost some speed there for some reason. But then we actually came with just 2 laps to go here now at Atlanta. We lost a few spots, actually. We came down to P8 actually, so quite unfortunate, but we were in where I wanted to be, which was the top 10. Kevin Harvick still leads the pack away from me, really. And I tried to catch up to the drivers ahead of me, but it just didn't seem to really be enough, since they all had the draft off each other. But we came to the white flag, just 1 more lap to go here now. And if a caution came out, then Kevin Harvick would just be the winner and the race would end and everything, but a caution did not come out. And I was actually surprised, because we've had quite a few cautions this race. And I was quite surprised, but eventually, when I actually came out of the final turn, I actually catched up to them quite a lot, but it wouldn't still be enough, really, to gain any more positions. But for this race, we'll actually finish in P8, and Kevin Harvick will win his first race of the season here now. But it's a good race for us, where we'll gain 5 spots on the point standings, actually. So we'll go into P7 here now, which is quite good for us. But on the playoff standings, we'll actually drop down to 8th place, because BJ McLeod has got a win, but he's behind points on me, really. So we'd be ahead of him, but my teammate Kurt Busch in 3rd place so far. So, and also not that many more fans away from 1 million. So hopefully at some point we'll get that. So I reckon we'll get that in the next race. We actually get some good compliments there from some other drivers, and I thought Brad Keselowski was actually going to get a bit angry with me, but surprisingly he didn't, which was actually quite good for me. But the next race would be Las Vegas, but then we actually get a contract offer here. But really, what's the point on choosing a contract if I'm going to be starting my own team next season? But who knows, I might not, but I reckon I will. But Las Vegas, of course, for the Xfinity Series we lead. Then for the Cup Series we are in third. No, 7th, I mean, not 3rd. No, 8th. Sorry about that. But then at Las Vegas for the Xfinity Series, actually, we'd finally changed the paint scheme here, where we'd be using the rainbow kind of paint scheme. So for once we actually change it at some point. But Joey Gates actually barely just into the round of 16 here so far, because at Daytona he actually finished in P3, and I didn't even notice that for the first episode in the Cup Series. But I will see you guys in the next episode, and we will be racing at Las Vegas for the Xfinity Series and the Cup Series.